Good morning, hamjambo, bonjour à tous, bon dia. Welcome to day 4 of GNI for Africa. Can you believe this is the penultimate day for Google News Initiative for Africa? Don't forget our hashtag GNI Africa and tag us at Google Africa and at Google News Init for initiative. We hope you've enjoyed the speakers, panel discussions, and case studies shared over the past 3 days, and we can't wait for today's session with Kenneth Kiunga, Teaching Fellow for the Google News Lab. Ken is going to demonstrate some of the digital skills essential for any journalist seeking to differentiate their reporting with data. Note down any questions you may have as he's presenting, as Ken will be answering them live after his presentation. Over to you, Ken.
Hi everyone, glad that you could join us today. My name is Kenneth Kionga and I'm a Google News Lab Teaching Fellow covering Sub-Saharan Africa. My role is to showcase on a wide range of digital tools available to the media industry that equips journalists and content creators to find, verify, and tell stories. I'm based in Nairobi and have previously worked in the media industry as a journalist for slightly over a decade. My work as a teaching fellow is essentially to train journalists, journalism students, and content creators in the region on how to use some of the Google tools and other open source tools. In this session, I will provide an overview of the work we do here at the Google News Lab and how we contribute to Google News Initiative mission of driving innovation in journalism. I will also outline the training tracks that we provide to newsrooms and journalism students and how media organizations and universities can access and benefit from these hands-on sessions. Finally, we'll also sample a few tracks, a few tools which will allow us to get a feel of what the sessions are about and how we go about it. We'll have a few minutes at the end of this session to answer any questions you may have about Google News Lab or the training curriculum. Google News Lab focuses on the first of the 3 E's of Google's news initiative, which is to elevate and strengthen quality journalism through training offered by News Lab teaching fellows. We run a range of in-person training courses, but for the last 1.5 years, the training sessions have been virtual because of the pandemic. The News Lab also hosts a lot of resources for journalists looking to improve their storytelling skills. The other areas of focus within the Google News Initiative is where we build media products and collaborate in partnerships and develop and support news programs. Google News Lab team offers training and resources to journalists across the world. In Sub-Saharan Africa, over 3,000 journalists have gone through our practical immersive training sessions over the last 2.5 years. The training has enabled journalists hone their research skills by showcasing how journalists can take advantage of tools such as Google Advanced Search and Google Trends. And this helps them to quickly and effectively find credible information and insights useful for their day-to-day work. The News Lab aims to bring the best of Google technology and tools offered by partners to drive innovation in news gathering and dissemination. The lab also builds partnerships with news organizations to tackle fundamental challenges that journalism faces today. So we provide training to journalists with a simple goal, and we want to help journalists tell stories in a better way. To do this, we focus our training around 3 pillars, and that's how to find the stories, how to verify these stories, and how to tell stories online. This is not new to us or to journalism, but we can equip your newsrooms with the latest tools to help journalists be more effective. Prior to the pandemic, we put a huge emphasis on in-person training. However, COVID has pushed us online. We now provide most of our training through Google Meet or YouTube, which, while this has cut down on our travel, it has not stopped us from trying to localize content as much as possible and make sure it is relevant to your market culture and language. At the moment, we provide training in 10 languages across the world, delivered by 17 teaching fellows who are all journalists with in-depth industry knowledge and experience. We understand that newsrooms have a wide range of digital skills, and our curriculum takes this into account, covering everything from search through to open source intelligent techniques. A Journalist Studio is a collection of tools from Google to reporters. These tools are to help journalists do their job more effectively, more efficiently, and securely. And occasionally, we can even help you be more creative. So you can access these free tools by going to Google Journalistic Studio or searching Google Journalistic Studio, and the tools are available there together with the training material. And to help journalists stay up to date with the latest tools and workflows for finding and telling these stories, we have developed a training website that is g.co/newstraining. What this site will allow you to do, and at your own pace, is to learn about all the elements of digital journalism, from finding to verifying and visualizing stories on the web. I refer back to the site over the course of the training, but at some point in the future, if you can't remember how to use a tool, I would highly recommend this resource. The training sections are free for journalists and take into account the busy and dynamic environment in news organizations. So we try to work within this reality, and each track takes about 2 hours. So when done online, that it will take about 2 hours, but can be much longer and more immersive when it's in-person training. Our approach is not just to introduce the tools, but also provide relevant examples blended with hands-on exercises that will make journalists comfortable using the tools once the sessions are over. The tools that we showcase are freely available to anyone interested in finding, verifying, and telling stories. We now look at the curriculum and what the Google News Lab offers in terms of training. One of the tracks that we offer is Google Advanced Search and Trends, and this session will equip journalists with practical research tips with examples of how to effectively use Google Advanced Search and search modifiers. We'll also look at how media professionals can create and deploy search alerts and Google Trends to complement research and storytelling. This track also showcases how Google Scholar and other Google search resources can provide journalists with quick access to a database of information, whether that's finding credible sources for stories or data. One of the current challenges in journalism and social media globally is the spread of fake news. That's from identifying altered images and manipulated video to identifying and stopping the spread of falsehoods. This session will examine the full range of misinformation, disinformation, and malinformation. And we'll have a glimpse of what these 2 tracks entail today. The track on data journalism and visualization allows journalists to find and tell stories using data and to create interactive visuals. We also introduce journalists to a suite of environmental journalism tools and how Google Maps can be used in the newsroom to paint a visual picture as part of storytelling. Newsroom innovation allows newsrooms to leverage on our latest learning on artificial intelligence, audience engagement, and platforms. These sessions cover tools and resources to help you start and build video and podcast products. It will also explain how to learn from your audience data. We now look at advanced search and some of the tips and tricks you can use to refine your search. And this is one of the tracks that we offer in our training sessions. Search operators or search refinements can be used to identify and locate information more precisely and much faster. So operators are special commands that command Google search to narrow down results into more detailed and specific results. So there's no one way or right way or to use search, but these tools you can often find different results than what you might find with a typical keyword search. We'll look at some of the tools or operators that will help you refine your search. One operator or one refinement that you can use as you try to filter the results that you are getting is using the minus sign. And this will do will eliminate all the results you don't want from your search results. Site colon. This helps to find information that might be buried in a site or on a top level domain. Related colon helps you find similar sites, while using cache colon will find the last previous version of a site. Using file type colon will help you find specific file types, whether that may be PDF or Excel or documents, Word documents that you are interested in. So this will refine the kind of file type that you'll get back in terms of results. So we now look at a few examples which you can also try it out. So due to the fact that COVID-19 has been a trending subject for almost 2 years now, the likelihood of you getting COVID-19 vaccine when you search for just for the term vaccine in Africa is quite high. But let's say, for example, you are looking for new information about vaccination, but not about COVID-19 vaccination. You can use the hyphen sign or the minus sign to specify which particular items you don't want in your results. In this case, if you include the hyphen or the minus sign just before the term COVID, you will notice the results have changed. The results omit anything related to COVID-19 vaccine. You can also exclude seeing or getting results from specific websites by adding the hyphen sign just before the URL of a website. So for example, if I have already read BBC articles on an upcoming election of one of the countries, I can tell Google I don't want results from BBC or any of the websites you want to omit from the results by just adding a hyphen just before the URL. You can add as many exclusions as you want to exclude as many terms and websites as you want as a way of refining your search. Another example I can give is if you're looking for the speed of Jaguar, there's a high likelihood that you'll get the speed of Jaguar the cat. Now, if you don't want to get the results of Jaguar the cat, you want Jaguar the car, what you need to do is just include Jaguar, use the hyphen or the minus sign just before a cat or animal, and the results that you'll get now is the speed of Jaguar the car. In this other case, use of an operator or a refinement, we will use site full colon to search a particular website or a domain name. Let's say you're looking for information published on the impact of COVID-19 in Africa and you want to see if the Africa Development Bank has any research or any information about this. Either you're looking for additional information or you're looking for a news story. You can quickly search the afdb.org website using the site colon operator. And you can further filter the results by adding a particular file type, like in this case, adding file type colon PDF will only return PDF files in the search results. PDF formats are usually reports and research publications, so journalists can use this operator to quickly get credible information. So what we have done here in this example, we have combined two operators to target our search. We have told Google search that we want information about the impact of COVID-19 in Africa published by AFDB in a PDF format. Using quotation marks returns results matching the exact terms or terms within the quotation marks, and this helps with filtering everything else that might be related to what you are looking for. You can also combine different search parameters to further refine your search by specifying where you want your information to come from and the type of documents you are looking for. In this example, a journalist might be interested in finding documents about GDP growth published by the government, by the federal government of Nigeria, or any of the ministries, departments, or states. And what you include, you use site:/.gov.ng, and it will also return PDF documents published by any of the state or federal governments, whether it's ministries or departments, strictly in PDF formats. The Google Advanced Search is a forensic tool that brings most of the operators on one platform, and you can include or exclude search terms. You can also define the file type you are interested in and the dates of publication. You can also define the language or region and other search refinements from the results. So this tool is sort of a condensed, quick tool that can help you refine your search experience. And you can get to this page by going to google.com/advanced_search, or you can quickly do a Google search on advanced search and you will get this page. We now look at another tool that comes in handy for journalists and content creators and can be used by anyone. And if there's a topic or area that you're interested in and you should create a search alert. And so the more unique or targeted this alert is, the more useful it will be in helping you discover stories. So if you go to google.com/alerts, you can create any alert on the topic of interest. You can use the search refinements to either eliminate or to add or to specify the kind of file type you want in terms of results. And every time an article is published along your interests, this information will come directly to your inbox. You can further provide a detailed breakdown of the kind of results you want to get. You can limit the many times, how many times you should receive these alerts, and these alerts will come directly to your inbox. You can specify the region where you want this information to come from. And in this example, you'll see that you can, it will come directly to your inbox. Now we look at a few simple tools and tips that we train journalists in terms of digital verification and fact-checking, and some of the tools that are available, not just to journalists, but to everyone to be able to verify content online. And the first thing to check when you're debunking a fake news story is to find out if the story has been debunked elsewhere. One of the quickest way of doing this is to check Google Fact Check Explorer, and you can get to this tool by typing g.co/fact-check-tools, and this is Google's attempt to index all of the world's fact checks in one place. You can search by topic or publication, and you'll see fact checks published by different reputable organizations. So the results page of a search shows who has fact-checked a statement or verified a piece of information and the conclusion of that fact-checking process. Different media and fact-checking organizations contribute to this repository, and if your news organization has a fact-checking section, it can also be included in this directory by following a few simple steps contained in the markup tool section of the Explorer. This is one of the photos that show a manipulated image, the one with the man with the dreadlocks spread in the aftermath of a highly contested 2017 elections in Kenya. And the accompanying captions allege the government was using an outlawed militia to quell protest by voters in opposition strongholds. However, the image was manipulated. The original image was used in a report about security measures put in place ahead of the elections to prevent election interference. So in this example, we see an image that has been edited, has been manipulated, and then a caption that has been added to it to create a certain impression about that piece of content. This image was posted on Facebook claiming that there were violent protests in Kampala, pitting supporters of presidential candidate Bobi Wine and government forces. But the real context is demonstrations in Nigeria in October 2020 during the End SARS protests. So the misleading captions are often used alongside real images or videos to deliberately deceive the recipients of a particular piece of information. We have seen in the last 2 years or so an increase in terms of armed conflict or elections or a pandemic. If in these circumstances it provides fuel for disinformation and misinformation. And so as journalists, we try and introduce these tools and show them how to verify the content because they are usually a trusted source of information by the public and by the audience. So how do you go about verifying manipulated images or out of context captions? We'll have a look at a few tools which you can use and which we train journalists on. Google reverse image search is always a good place to start. So you go to Google Images or images.google.com and click on the camera icon. By running this reverse search, you are telling Google to look for a similar image. There are 3 ways of doing reverse image search. You can drag and drop the image on the search bar if you are looking or if you are using Chrome browser. You can upload the image from your computer or you can paste the URL of the image on the search bar. Google does an analysis of what's in the picture plus searches results for it. It shows visually similar images and pages that include matching images. You can further refine that search of that image by setting a time frame so that Google will return results based only on a certain period. Another tool that comes in handy is the TinEye reverse image search. And just like Google Images, you can upload an image or paste the URL of the image on the search bar. TinEye has options of sorting the results by oldest or biggest. You can also sort by the latest uploaded or the best matched. And this will help you sort images based on when were they first uploaded. And you'll see if an image has been used before based on when it was uploaded. For video verification, there are several tools you can use. And one of them is a website known as Watch Frame by Frame, where you can paste the YouTube URL, and when it plays, you can pause the video, examine it frame by frame. And what this does, it reduces the motion, the speed of the video, so that you're able to pick if there are any edits or if there is anything off with the video. This thread from the BBC Africa Eye shows how a video was used to find the location, time, and date of a murder in Africa. The team were then able to question the authorities responsible. BBC Africa Eye, through forensic analysis of the footage using some of the tools we showcase, such as Google Maps, were able to prove exactly where this happened, when it happened, and who was responsible for the killings. And this goes to show that verification tools have a wider user case beyond debunking fake news. This track on data journalism and visualization allows journalists to find and tell stories using data and create interactive visualizations. The public data tool, this data search engine helps you find, interpret, and share data to show how our world is changing. Public data provides global statistics on environment, economics, labor, or health, education, or poverty. This tool aggregates data sets from trusted sources and gives you simple tools to create sophisticated visualization tools. It can also help journalists monitor change over time, compare metrics, compare different markets, or compare different countries, and allows newsrooms to embed the visualization as part of their storytelling content. This tool is Data GIF Maker. with google.com. This is a simple Google tool that enables a user to create quick visions using the GIF format, which can be embedded as part of a story or on social media. An example of how these data and visualization tools can be used as part of storytelling is this amazing piece of South Africa's Daily Maverick on the dynamics around the River Nile. And the authors used several tools, including Art Studio and Flourish, to creatively highlight some of the issues around the Nile and how the countries around the Nile have exploited this resource. As I mentioned, all this information and training tracks and the tools are available on g.co/newstraining. And this site will allow you at your own pace to learn about all the elements of digital journalism, from finding to verifying and visualizing stories on the web. We have just sampled a few tools which we explore during our training sessions. If you are interested in any of these tracks and any other tracks probably that you have not mentioned, kindly get in touch with me. That's my contact, and we'll have a few minutes for question and answer. Kindly use the chat section or ask or make a comment using the chat section. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Thanks, Ken, for that meaningful and useful session on how to be a creative journalist. It was informative, and most of all, how to tackle things that really matter, like fake news. The website that Ken has talked is g.co/news training. So you can take up where Ken left. And now we will move on to the questions, and I'll ask Vincent Ryan, who is the training manager for Google News Lab, to join Ken so that they can tackle your questions. Over to you both.
Thanks, Dorothy, and great presentation, Ken. Hopefully that will have given the viewers some food for thought, and they will have questions for us. While they're typing their questions, we can address one or two of the most frequently asked ones that we get. The first one is, how much does this training cost and how can I book it? This training is free for all newsrooms and universities. As you're aware, the GNI focuses on the 3 E's, which are elevating quality journalism, evolving business models, and empowering news organizations through technological innovation. Our training is very much focused on the first of these, on elevating quality journalism. And as such, the cost is fully covered by the Google News Initiative. If you would like to book these trainings, please feel free to reach out and email either us in London at newslabsupport@google.com or to email Ken directly at kiunga@google.com. So that's KIUNGA@google.com. I think we'll let Ken take the next question. So Ken, the question is, where can I find more information about the kind of training that you are making available?
Thank you, Vincent. We have a full suite of training available that covers everything from how to find and verify and tell news stories online. So if you would like to sample some of the training, please have a look at our training website, and that's g.co/newstraining.
Thanks, Ken. One of the other questions that we get asked frequently is, do we receive certification at the end of the training? We are frequently asked to provide certificates to journalists at our in-person training. And working with our news organizations who we partner with for this training, we can provide certificates of attendance. But if you would like to prove that you've completed all of our training, please have a look at our website at g.co/news training. On the website, you can create a profile where you can log in and you can take all of the courses. At the end of each course, there is a small quiz where if you get 100%, you will receive a certificate of completion that will then be added to your profile, and then you can download them all at the end to prove that you have completed all of the training. Another question that we get quite often is one that I'm going to let Ken take. It's if a newsroom wants training on a specific tool, can the newsroom request that?
Yeah, so we are always trying to meet the needs of our newsroom partners. And as such, if there's a topic that you or your newsroom, your reporters are particularly interested in, we can definitely work out with you to develop a bespoke training to meet those needs. The best route to organize this is to email me either at Kiunga, Kiunga, at google.com or newslabsupport at google.com. And we'll be happy to start this conversation. Thank you,
Cool.
Vincent.
We have a question in from Alex from the Kampala report in Uganda. Alex wants to know how do we join the practical sessions? So Alex, as I was saying earlier, the best way to join these practical sessions is to email us, to email either newslabsupport@google.com or to email Ken at Kiunga@google.com. And what we'll do then is we will organize a training specifically for you and your newsroom at the Kampala report. And we'll have a conversation beforehand with you in your newsroom to find out what it is that you would like to learn, what tools would be most useful, and what point you're at on your digital journey. And then we can make a bespoke training that will help you. So again, the best thing to do is email. So either newslabsupport@google.com or Ken directly at Kiunga@google.com. So we'll go and have one more quick little question. So a question that we get quite often, and I'm going to let Ken take this one, is this training only available for large and advanced newsrooms?
No. So we are interested in helping all journalists, no matter what point they are on their digital journey. If you're a small print paper or legacy TV station just beginning your digital journey, or digital native looking to find out the latest way to leverage some of these Google trends, we are happy to help. Again, just drop us an email to myself, Kiunga@google.com, or to newslabsupport@google.com, and we'll be happy to help where we can.
Excellent. Thanks, Ken. One of the common questions, and I'm afraid this one I'm not going to be positive about, but one of the questions we get asked a lot by newsrooms is, can we provide training on search engine optimization? Unfortunately, the answer to this one is no. This is one of the few areas that we don't train on because our goal is to work with journalists, and SEO is more of a webmaster tool and a webmaster training. So there are a huge range of publicly available guides, in particular on the Google Webmaster Forum, where you can learn a wealth of information on this topic. But if you're a journalist and if you want to find how to find, verify, tell news stories, even go as far as how to build maybe your first machine learning model to help you tell more stories or find more interesting stories, either myself or Ken would be more than happy to help with that. We have one more question which has just come in, which is how do I increase attention and audience on my news site? I would actually say the best way to help increase the audience and attention on your news site is to tell better stories. And we will be very happy to help train your journalists on how to find and verify and tell more entertaining and engaging stories. There are other tools which you may have seen yesterday, which would have been the day before, which are news consumer insights and real-time content insights, which will help you on technical issues that will improve your website and have tips that other publishers have used to help improve engagement. Like RCI and NCI are excellent for improving that time on it. Another question which has just come in is how do I monetize my news website? Again, I think yesterday's sessions with the digital growth team, they would have focused more specifically on monetization on the business side. And there are a full suite of trainings that are available on the GNI website and the GNI YouTube site. And if you check back to yesterday's recordings that go in depth around what is available on monetization, including labs that you can join, and extensive training with experts in the monetization field. Again, we're focusing more on the editorial side as opposed to the business side of the news industry. Cool. See if we give it maybe one more second to see if there are any further questions coming in. Again, there's a wealth of information that was discussed over the last 3 days at the Africa Summit on what is available, and these will cover all elements of basically the news industry online, from monetization through to engagement. And if you check back onto those recordings, that would be a very good place to start. And also always check out the GNI website and the GNI YouTube channel where these are available. And I think we're probably going to wrap up. I would like to thank everyone who submitted a question. Myself and Ken have thoroughly enjoyed this event, and we hope that we will be able to provide training to your newsroom in the near future. Alex, I look forward to getting your email from the Kampala report so that we can set up training very soon. And with that, I'm going to hand back over to Dorothy, who will wrap up the rest of today's sessions and prepare us for what else is coming at the GNI Africa Summit. So once again, thanks a million.
Thank you, Vincent. Thank you, Ken, for that wonderful Q&A session and answering all these questions that people have and have never known how to get around it. Thank you. I hope you've all enjoyed this session today and found it very useful and helpful as I did. The sessions will be uploaded to our Google News Initiative YouTube channel. And so please check there and see if you'd like to repeat the training or share with someone you know would love the training but missed this session today. And do subscribe to get the content that's created with you in mind, Google News Initiative YouTube channel. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, you know the drill, 11:30 a.m. East Africa time for our final day for GNI for Africa. We have a busy day with a panel discussing how we can find innovative ways to engage African audiences in the news. We'll also have an Ask Me Anything session with Madhav Chinapa, Director of News Ecosystem Development at Google. You don't want to miss that session with Madhav. But for now, goodbye and enjoy the rest of the day, and see you tomorrow at 11:30 a.m. East Africa time.